I think we have most of our county commissioners here tonight, and I'm very happy to see them here. I don't know, it sounds like they maybe got Brent picked to talk, so we'll let Brent have the microphone. Where's your sheet?
Vicki, I took off my hat so you could properly catch the gleam off my skull.
Got it. On 2 cameras.
Yeah. Primarily, I'm here to talk about the formation of the county EDA. You guys all got letters about that. This started, as Vince said, this started with the broadband initiative. This is a really big deal for A, the people who don't have good internet access, and B, for all the taxpayers in the county. I mean, the people in this room pay an enormous amount of taxes to the county. And any economic development activity we can encourage cuts your burden a little bit. I remember 30-some years ago, a great big farmer at the time said, yeah, you know, in 30 years, there's going to be me, the Hutterites, and a few old people in Big Stone County. Well, he's long gone, but what he said still sticks in my mind. I've kind of been fighting against that ever since, because we need opportunities for everyone in the county. We need better business opportunities for everyone in the county. Now, this is an $8 million project. They're talking 400 miles of fiber optic that they put in the ground. And if you have okay internet now, when you get to fiber optic, it'll be roughly 10 times as good as what you have now. And if you're over in the Beardsley area, a lot of Wade and Jay's districts, you're going to be stunned at how much better it is. And that all is a benefit to economic development. Roughly 12% of the workforce in Minnesota are people who work independently. They're called 1099ers. You know, they do short-term contracts, they work out of their homes. Right now, you know, if you're an architect or a lawyer or an engineer who wants to build a house on Big Stone Lake and work out of your home, you can't do it. The internet connection just isn't good enough. And every one of those great big houses with someone working out of their home along the lake is something that cuts down your tax bill, because they're picking up some of the burden that you guys are currently carrying. Now, as Vince said, we started this EDA project because we thought it was absolutely essential for the broadband initiative. Turns out that might not be the case, but when you're spending $8 million of other people's money, you don't really want a lawyer saying, well, maybe yes, maybe no. You kind of want it set in stone. So this is the right thing to do. And all the communities and all the townships have the opportunity to opt in or opt out. Now, personally, my preference would be if you all opted in. If you choose to opt out, there's a school of thought that says the EDA cannot operate in your district. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's something I've heard from 1 or 2 sources. But the worst thing to do is nothing. Because with an EDA, there is taxing authority that comes with that. An EDA can levy taxes. We have absolutely no plan to do that. None of the current 5 commissioners have expressed any sort of interest in levying taxes for an EDA. But I can't make a commitment for what a board 10 years or 20 years from now will do. And if you do nothing, if you choose neither to opt in or opt out, then your district would be subject to the levy, but the EDA might not be allowed to operate in your township. So it would be the worst of all possible worlds to choose to do nothing. So no matter what your choice is, make sure you make a choice. I would encourage you to opt in, because it's in your own best interest. The way this works, the county is going to bond for $4 million, which is a lot of money. The largest previous bond we had was $1 million. Federated is going to make the principal and interest payments on that bond. And then there's a $4 million grant which picks up the balance of the cost. So that's how it's going to be funded. Federated has done this in all their districts, all their territory. I'm on Federated, some of the rest of you are too. They've also done fiber optic in Morris, and they've done the same basic project in Lacaparo County. So they have a significant track record of success. They know what works, they know what doesn't, they know what numbers they need in order to make it work. Now, some of you may not be interested in fiber optic to your home. You don't like computers. You don't want a computer. You're choosing to live the rest of your life without a computer, and that's fine. But if you ever want to sell your house, if you don't have fiber optic to the home, you're knocking a big chunk of the value off it. Because in this day and age, high-speed internet to your home is considered just like electricity and running water. It isn't seen as an advantage, it's seen as a given. So that's just the world we live in. There have been a lot of people do a tremendous amount of work on this. Some of this is the RDC, Vicki Oakes, Vince Robinson, the people at BSAG. They've really, this has been a long journey. I can't remember the first conversation we had about high-speed internet. But Big Stone County is going to get something a lot of more populated places don't have. And for the first time, maybe we have a little leg up. You can feel kind of abandoned and beaten down when you live 200 miles from the people that matter. But this is our chance to get something that a lot of people don't. And it makes your life easier because it encourages economic development, which the more people we have paying taxes, the more the burden is spread and the less of your money we have to take. Any questions? Okay, now I'm done talking for the commissioners. I'm talking solely for myself. So afterwards, if you want to yell at someone, yell at me. Don't tell it Wade. You don't yell at Wade or Jay or Roger or Joe. About this drainage thing, about the 50-foot buffer. It's not a very good idea, except we do need to cut down the amount of dirt and the amount of nutrients that are going into the waters. 35 years ago, I was on the Soil and Water Conservation District Board, and we started a study of the Meadowbrook watershed, and we decided what was happening. What we found out was that we were putting stuff in the lake, and that was making the lake not as good. And once again, that's an economic development issue. You're not going to build a $500,000 house along a body of water that stinks and turns green. So, it's in our own best interest to do something. Now, 50-foot buffer strips is a one-size-fit-all enterprise, and as we all know, one-size-fit-all is not always the best idea. There's lots of things we can do. We can lower the level of some of the sloughs so that there's some bounce in the system when there's a heavy rain. We can put in tile inlets with gates. We can have smaller buffer strips that have smaller tile inlets so the water stays back a little. The idea is to get the water off the land so you all can farm in an efficient manner, but keep the dirt and all the nutrients back on the land. There's no one best idea, but there's a lot of ideas that work. And my opinion is that we need to start implementing them, or we're going to have the people in St. Paul inflict a one-size-fit-all solution on us that will cost us and won't work particularly well.